Hi friends, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra, here again with defense attorney, prosecuting attorney, judge pro tem extraordinaire Tim Forshee. Extraordinaire. Look at that, I gave you
for sure. And make it
title.
Make it French.
Extraordinaire Esquire the Third. And we recently had a doorbell camera video of a guy threatening somebody on their door. And of course, there's all kinds of goofy stuff I want to talk about. But today I've had several comments on that video about shooting him through the door, and I want to talk about it with the attorney.
To win the fight after the fight, you need help. After a use of force, I trust Firearms Legal Protection to help me win the fight for the rest of my life. From their 24/7 attorney-answered hotline to coverage for the use of all legal tools, Firearms Legal Protection has you covered. Get a discount by signing up at the link below.
So, of course, we say all the time, Tim, that we use deadly force as a tool of last resort to stop the imminent or immediate commission of death or great bodily harm upon us or our loved
The thing you
ones.
said in there that's so important that a lot of people don't pay attention to is last resort. Not first option or third or eighth, last option.
Yeah, any good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person ignores the make my day laws, ignores stand your ground. You know, if you can avoid using a firearm, avoid it.
Right.
Because every bullet you shoot has a lawyer attached to it, and those lawyers come at hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour.
You know the old Hollywood term you always hear in all the shows, it was a good shoot.
Right.
And they slide his badge back across the desk to him, right? Everything's
Yeah,
good,
you
commercial, and he's back on the street. I'm here to tell you, there's no such thing as a good shoot. Every client that I've ever represented that pulled a trigger, I won't say it ruined their lives.
Changed it forever.
Changed it forever for the worse. And it ruined some. I've had a couple clients commit suicide. I've had clients lose their marriages, their homes, their livelihoods. There's no such thing as a good shoot.
So you only use it when the consequences of not using it are worse and unacceptable,
And that's
right?
usually going to be death of somebody you care about.
Right. If you're gonna die, your loved one's gonna die, I had to. There's nothing else I could do. I'll take the consequences.
Amen.
Okay, fine. Now, in the instance of the doorbell cam that we saw, a lot of people ask this idea of, it looked like he had a shotgun. Really, it was like a pressure washer or something.
If you looked out through the peephole at the right moment, I guess I could say it could have been mistaken for like a Mossberg shockwave or something, like a pistol grip shotgun, maybe for 1 or 2 seconds. But if you watch the rest of it, it was clear it was just like a power washer adapter.
Now, let's just say if I'm looking at somebody on a doorbell camera, I'm a fool if I'm standing at the door when somebody's ranting about that, right? I should be in my safe room on the phone with.
And you've got the video on your phone. If
Right.
you've got Ring doorbell, it's on your phone.
Right.
Why are you standing there? Yeah.
So get away from the door. But let's just say we were standing at the door instead, and you have a client, Tim, that comes and says, and he was pointing that gun and waving the gun around and threatening me, so I just shot him through the door. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, first of all, stupid. You shouldn't have ever done that. As you and I both know, and as probably most folks watching this know, there's about 1,000 other options there, right? But let's assume that's what the cards that I'm dealt is my client did that. Okay?
Yeah.
Then the only option I've got is that's either at best manslaughter, arguably second-degree murder, or it's self-defense. So I'm going to have to do everything I can. Or you reasonably in fear of that being a gun. Are you an expert on guns? Well, no, I just have this 138 Special that I own that my dad gave me. Do you know what a shotgun is? Yeah, and I thought that's what he had. I thought that was a shotgun. And then I freeze frame for the jury. I go, now, and here's another picture where one of my expert witnesses is holding a Mossberg shockwave in the exact same attitude. You have 1 second and your life's hanging in the balance. Can you really tell the difference between those two? I mean, I could try that case. I think I could try the hell out of that case. But the point is, you don't ever want to be in that situation. So if I try that case successfully, you probably spent 60 days in jail before I got your bond reduced, right? You probably had to mortgage your house or get a second or wipe out all the equity in your house or wipe out your retirement or wipe out your parents' retirement, wipe out your parents' house's equity to pay that process. And I always tell this to people, and I don't mean to be sacrilegious, I don't care if Jesus Christ himself is your lawyer. If you step in front of a jury, there is a 20% chance you're going to go to prison.
Yeah,
no matter how good the case is.
You don't know what jury's going to say. We've seen juries make all kinds of weird decisions.
So why did you put yourself in this position? But if you find yourself in that position, now the cards are dealt, we got to play them out. But I think I could probably do okay with that case, but that's a very stupid risk and a very stupid use of resources.
And if you've been around the channel a while, you know what he said. There's 1,000 things better you could have done. We call that, in legal sense, preclusion. right? What's a better choice to make here? It's not, if I make this choice to use deadly force, I finally got to use my gun.
I got to shoot somebody.
I got to shoot somebody.
Yeah, it's not a hunting license.
And there's the problem, is instead I go, what's the smartest thing I can do right now? What's the sanest thing? What's the most prudent thing I can do right now?
And I'm sure you've experienced the same thing. When I teach, if I have a class with like 50 or 60 people in it, I'll say, how many of you have a gun for home defense? And nearly every hand goes up. And then I say, let's play a little game. Keep your hand up as long as the answers to my questions remain yes. Once you answer my question, no, put your hand down. How many of you have a dog? How many of you have replaced all of the screws and all of your exterior hinges and doors with high tensile strength 3-inch screws? How many of you have put laminar or laminate coatings on the outside of your windows from 3M to make them shatter resistant? How many of you have a safe room? How many of you have a burglar alarm that's monitored offsite? How many of you have video surveillance, motion sensor lights, etc.? How many of you have a hardened door on the front of your house and a hardened door on your bedroom? If you can't afford a safe room, make your bedroom a safe room. It doesn't cost as much as you think. And people go, oh, well, yeah, sure, you're a rich lawyer. You can do all that. Everything that I just said, you could accomplish for 10 grand. You don't have to accomplish it by next Tuesday for 10 grand, but you could accomplish it over the course of the next year for 10 grand.
Just getting a box of case hardened screws at Home Depot costs you $20 tops.
And the point is, now if you do all those things, what are the chances you're ever going to need your gun? Your gun should be the absolute last thing in that defensive plan. But for so many people, it's the first and only thing in their defensive plan. I know I have a crappy door, but I got a gun. I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
And that's so dangerous and stupid.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to use my gun.
So here's a great reminder that if you go, hey, I don't know if that door is going to handle it if he tries to kick it in. Well, go buy the case hardened screws. Literally go down to Lowe's or Home Depot or your local hardware store. A set of 3-inch case hardened wood screws is $8, $10, $20, maybe $20.
Borrow your father-in-law's Makita drill.
Yeah. Pull those the hinge screws out and the faceplate screws out and put those big case hardened 3-inchers in. Will make your life infinitely better.
Much safer. And cheap and quick and easy. Yeah.
Quick and easy. Do that on all the exterior doors.
And then people say, well, I only rent. Okay, so what?
So what?
You know, your landlord's going to be mad that you upgraded the screws in the door?
Right. Like the landlord will even know that you've upgraded the screws in the door.
Right.
They're going to come up and go, hey, those aren't the screws I put in there. That's stupid. And the other part of this is, again, every defense attorney, I talked to a criminal defense attorney friend of mine who said, look, you're handing me the ingredients for me to cook the meal here. I gotta cook it and make the jury eat it.
Yeah.
And so if it's a real easy self-defense case, it's like you handed me really good steak.
Right.
And I cook that up and serve it to the jury, no problem.
They'll be delighted. Yeah.
But you shoot somebody through the door and you've handed me a bunch of hamsters.
Yeah.
And now, can I make hamster tasty enough for a jury to eat it?
In Peru,
not here. I'm gonna have a heck of a time getting a hamster to taste good enough and overcome the initial reluctance to eat hamster for them to like that.
That's right.
And so don't hand me hamsters, please. Yep. And so don't shoot people through doors if you can possibly help it.
I can't think of a situation where that would be appropriate. I mean, I guess I probably could, but it'd be incredibly far-fetched.
Yeah.
So just, don't do it. Flee the area, get to an area of safety, call 911. If you have to hide in the back of your closet with your AR-15, God bless you. Wait for the cavalry to arrive.
I do think as well that the beauty of having a doorbell camera, which no matter which company you do that with, I'm not sponsored by endorsing any of them, that lets you not be at the door and see who's at the door.
That's right.
This is a very valuable self-defense tool.
And guys, if you don't want to do that doorbell system, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and you can buy for a few $100s
get a
really
camera.
good video surveillance system.
Yeah.
Put on your front door, back door windows. And now if somebody's trying to get into your house, you can see them, you have them on tape, uploaded to the cloud. Why not do it?
Why not do it? That's the big thing here. Don't do it if you don't have to do it. That's the biggest thing. Only use your firearm as a tool of last resort.
Amen.
Tim, thank you.
You bet, absolutely.